BTC 66K. We've just smashed through the 200-day moving average. Is this the beginning of Uptober? Has it now finally been triggered, guys? We've got a massive show today with all these green candles. They're also ripping. Everything's going down. I've got an indicator man here today as well. He's going to help manage the FOMO on a lot of things here. So we got tons to talk about. So many altcoins, so many setups. Big show coming. Let's get right into this. And remember, as always, the Rainbow Man is here for the likes, for the subscribes. He's doing his thing. If you like the rainbow, hit the like. If you like the green candles, hit the like. Do the thing. And here's our indicator man, Chaos. You know the man now. And he's our indicator DJ. And he's got a couple of setups for us. One of them, I'm not going to actually tell them. We're gonna wait for likes. But he's got a banging long setup. Then he's got a couple of TP zones, maybe a couple of shorts busy teeing up for us soon. So things are looking good. It's nice to have green. I mean, isn't this very pleasant at the moment? WLD, one of the big performers. Now, I haven't been watching that one today. 22% up. Brett, what a banger. 15%. That thing is cooking. Floki, the memes are coming alive again as expected. Okay. Look at the bottom right. Lido. Is that based on the current situation with ETH? Now that ETH has blown through a major resistance band. So all around things are looking super bullish here. Let's get straight into BTC and see exactly what they are doing to us at the moment. I mean, this is actually, this is beautiful. Come on. Come on. Vital says Vital's not happy with some shorts. Come on, bro. We're just having a good time here. He's not happy at all. And these bears are definitely going to get rinsed now if they're not getting rinsed already. So what is going on? So BTC has blown through on the 4 hour. We've just blown, well, not just, it happened a little bit earlier today, but we've blown this downtrend. And the big one for me has been this 200-day moving average. This has been a major concern for me. And I wasn't happy with Uptober until we got well through the 200-day, and now they have broken this thing with interest, and things have turned super bullish for us. We've banged through resistance zone number 1, which was our first big zone to the upside, 65,300. That was a big one. Now we are playing around another rejection area, another danger zone. So just anybody who's trying to long now, yes, there is the possibility that we're going to get a squeeze, but anybody who's trying to long now, just be careful, okay? The 66K, you can see the current situation. This is a resistance band. So on the 4 hour, there's work to do here. We've had a beautiful pump. Let's not get FOMO into danger zones. If you are currently sitting in BTC positions from lower down, well, then I suspect things are going to be relatively good here, because if we do get some kind of pullback, I expect it to get bought up relatively quickly. So what am I going to watch today? First levels to the downside we need to pay attention to, 65,297. That's just simply these horizontals that we've got over here. Then I've got this absolute banger. Now, this is our 236 fib. Remember, this is our most bullish fib. This is one, when things turn super bull, we often get a little dip into those types of zones. So 64,500, that's a banger for me. A little dip into that region could make sense as well. Let's just grab our pen there. 64,500, nice little banger zone. And then really, look, this is going to hurt if they want to do this to us, but 63,450, that's a huge area there for me now. That is going to be the retest of the 200-day MA. So if things are going to remain bullish now in the market, the 200-day moving average is a must hold. And I think we've broken this thing convincingly enough to say we can buy any dips now with confidence into that region until proven otherwise. So Uptober, it's on. Okay, according to the Lord of Entry, we are Uptobering here all day long. Chaos is happy. AI Ray is back. I quite like Rainbow Ray, but okay, AI Ray is back. Okay, let's go. Let's see what is going down in the news at the moment. So Uptober. Okay, it's finally commenced. Look at that. We are 3% up. So we started the month down. I think we dipped even 5 or 6%. We dipped down. Now, October is now finally playing the game. We are finally on track for the October that we were looking for. So far, so good. Now, on that, we had a little bit of pain the first 2 weeks, but things are on track at the moment. And Wall Street Bets summing this up perfectly. Your last month of being broke Uptober is here, guys, but let's not fuck this thing up. Okay, really, we cannot fuck this up. We've got a nice green candle now. Let's not be FOMOing into things. Now, this was me earlier today on Twitter. Guys, follow me on Twitter at the Lord of Entry. I'm dropping tons of alpha there for you guys, fundamental things as well, and some cool shit. But today, I just dropped BTC breaking the 200-day MA. I said, bullish. How's this guy? He was very upset with me. He said, 5 days ago, you were sending it to 53. Now you are bullish, following the herd. I was like, bro, you can see, I just left a comment at the bottom. I said, it's all about the context. For those of you that, that only watch the tile and don't actually watch the show or the context, I think it's fair, to say that we take information that we have in front of us. And I think I've been fairly balanced in my view with you guys over the last 2 to 3 weeks. At some point, I was calling 53K. It is on the table. But a lot of the context here was that we were below the 200-day MA. And I've always maintained if we break above the 200-day MA, things can turn bullish again for us. Now, hopefully that guy is actually going to start watching the show before he just comments on tiles that he sees floating around. And then DJ Wizzled, whoever this guy is, he came to the rescue. Look at this guy. He says it's difficult to speak out on popular opinions, but he says the Lord of Entry shows honesty with arguments, +1 respect. So whoever that guy is, what an absolute legend over there. And that is, nice little move. And then just a couple of... Yes, sir.
Can we balance out the likes? Can we at least balance out the likes, please?
Guys, AI Ray is here in the house. Like it for the AI Ray. Emperor Osmo. Okay, this is the interesting one for us. He says memes flipped AI mindshare for the first time this year. I bet we see gaming take over next. That's interesting. Thanks in part to AVAX's success with the off the grid. We know about that. It makes sense to bet on all three as top narratives for the rest of the year. Yes, we know the memes have been absolutely ripping. We know gaming. We had a sniff of gaming, and we've seen Tower. It was being leading the AI narrative. So things are looking good for the top three. These are the hot three that we really need to be focusing on. And also, I mean, let's not forget about RWA as well. I've got an Ondo situation for you guys. And I found this tweet also interesting from Osmo. So 2 in a row from this guy. He's on fire. And he says all this green and retail isn't even here yet. Now, this is an interesting chart. This is tracking the views on YouTube. Look at this chart. Look when the views were so high. January 22, even July 22. We're at July 24. BTC is at 66K. The market is green. Retail is nowhere. So I want to remind you guys again, anybody who's been watching the shows, doing the hard work for the last 6 months, you've been grinding it out. You're going to have the edge. You're going to be ahead of the curve here. When these retail guys come back, they are going to be your exit liquidity. So if you carry on watching the shows, up or down, doing the work, learning how to chart, doing all these types of things, by the time this wave of retail comes back, you're going to have the skills to exit to these guys. Now, remember, the market is green. We're making money now in the last few days. Things are ripping. When they come back, it's going to be something quite magical that you haven't seen before, especially those of you that are new to crypto. So just be patient. That is coming. The wave is coming for you guys. And Trader Cos. Now, this is a common cause. I mean, common disease that we all have. I mean, I'm sure Chaos agrees. I'm sure AI Ray agrees as well. He says, only in crypto can you hit 2x in 4 hours and feel like you're underperforming. This industry makes you numb. Good to take a step back and realize how fortunate we are. Don't forget, comparison is the thief of joy. Now, this is such a valid point. I mean, Chaos, you feel that?
There's not a single person that I know of who's outside of crypto that isn't happy with like a 6% return. Oh, we can do that in 5 minutes, man. You know?
Oh, no, guys.
I concur.
Yeah.
I concur.
Ray concurs. So, guys, what I want to say to you, new traders and everything, just forget about what the guy next to you is doing. Forget about what I'm doing. Forget about what all the other guys are doing. Don't worry about their position sizes. Don't worry about their P&Ls that they're throwing around. Your game is against yourself. You are playing yourself in this market. You're using us as a guide. You're learning TA from me. You're learning these types of things along the way. But don't compare yourself when you see other guys flashing P&Ls. Stick to your system. Carry on going. Just be patient. Just be consistent. And things are going to play out. Now, I feel this stuff every single day. I'm feeling it in this ByBit World Series of Trading competition. I'm going to explain that to you now. But there's a bunch of sickos out there. Okay, I'm 310% up or something in this World Series of Trading competition. Fuck me. I'm coming like 21st. There's a bunch of sickos out there that are trading higher and they're making more. And I've got this terrible sense of FOMO and it just doesn't go away. You always just think you are underperforming. And Virtual Bacon just clearing this up for you guys as well. He says FOMO can ruin your strategy. It will ruin your strategy. I'm telling you now. FOMO is going to ruin your strategy. Jumping on trends out of fear often leads to bad decisions. Trust your plan. I love that. Stay disciplined. I love that. Wait for the opportunities to come your way. Now, guys, talking to you guys today who perhaps don't have positions just yet, you're trying to buy green candles, this is where we get dangerous, okay? This is where things get tricky, and this is why I brought in 𝗙𝗧𝗟𝗓 today, because he's our indicator expert, and he can look when this market is getting tired to the upside, when it's getting tired to the downside. He's going to give you guys a guide, because remember, at some point, we get the rejection, we get the buy zones again. So if you've got FOMO right now and you're not in any positions, don't take too many risks here. Now, I'm going to take you through a lot of tokens today, and we're going to give you some nice little setups. Now, let's just take a look at the S&P, because this thing is absolutely ripping. And I was saying yesterday and last week, at some point, I think we're going to get some kind of slingshot effect from crypto. This S&P can't keep grinding higher like this and leave crypto behind for this long. So this is looking good. At the moment, the S&P is cruising, and my upside target, no changes there, still 6,000, and I'm still in my long. I longed it at the top on Prime XBT. Remember, on Prime XBT, other than crypto that you can trade, you can send crypto here. You can trade gold, oil, silver, forex, all these things. And I'm sitting in these two longs on the S&P. And these things are going well. It's cookie. So the S&P upside target, beautiful upside target, looking for 6,000. Let's see how we go along the way. So that is all as well. And yeah, just to recap BTC, let's take a look at some liquidation levels quickly, and let's get this reset. So we wanted to see where these guys can chase some liquidity and things like that. And you can see now, BTC to the upside, if they are going to squeeze us a little bit higher, look at the liquidation map here, 66,600 to the upside. That's a danger zone if they pump it there. To the downside, easy 65,300, easy 64,300, and then all the way down here 63.5, that type of region. So there's a lot going down there, but based on this 200-day MA break, I just want to show you this situation. I've got a high conviction play now on BTC. Now, we've been waiting. I've always been saying, let's play cautious until we are clear the 200-day MA. We're going to know when to roll the dice. Now we've popped the 200-day MA, and I've got a couple of high conviction plays running now on ZoomX at the moment. You can see I've got 4 BTC long currently going on here. My average entry is 62K. My stop loss is 61,687, and I've got an ETH play. I've become an ETH bro again because ETH blew through the 50-day moving average again today, and now we're putting on the bull hat. Okay, we're putting on the bull hat for ETH, and stand to be corrected, but I'm expecting any pullbacks now on BTC. For example, for this current trade that I'm in, I'm making the assumption this thing's going to hold that 200-day MA. That is where I'm adding. If we get a dip down into that region, I'm doubling that position. We're going to send that thing higher. If we do start pushing below that, they're going to come for me. They're going to stop me out, and then we're going to have to reassess, because if we close under that 200-day MA, we're going to be under a bit of pressure. So for me, confidence buy, any pullbacks down to the 200-day MA, things are looking good so far. So far, so good. And then here we are on the daily, just a little recap on the current situation. So I just wanted to give you guys a little picture as to a couple of danger zones on the daily, but on the daily, all is looking well. So upside, we just need to watch. Here's a nice little band for you guys. We've got trend, we've got horizontal, 66,500 zone. Then a little bit higher, I've got an interesting region over here with the 786 and these wicks that you can see floating around in that area. So that's quite a hot zone for me as well. So if we do push on the daily, look out, we take out some of these wicks, maybe we're going to get some kind of rejection there. So number one, that's a danger zone for me on the daily. Number two, take out those wicks, then a little reaction. Remember, at some point, we're going to get a pullback here in the market, and that's going to trigger a lot of buys for us. That's going to trigger a lot of setups for us on some of these altcoins. So BTC looking good, 63K. You can see our 200-day MA is in play. We've got our 382 fib as well. So that's a solid zone, ties in with some horizontals too. So 63,400 looking great at the moment on the daily. Okay, we take this day by day, and we'll see how we go. Now, these absolute sickos trading the WSOT competition, I'm actually offended. And I've been grinding this thing out. I'm 318% up, and I'm coming 21st. What is wrong with you guys? I mean, I don't even know how to keep up with this shit at the moment. And I see DJ and Dave from Sniper Club. He's here in the house. He's coming 6th at the moment, and he's on 319%. So you can see this competition isn't just P&L based. They've got a point scoring system, and I still can't figure out exactly how it works. So for me, I'm just trying to grind this thing up and keep a P&L running at the moment, and hopefully the points will take care of themselves. But you can see, I mean, there's a guy coming fourth, and he's got a 200% P&L, but he's got 130 points. Okay, so I'm not quite sure how to go about this thing, but we're going to crack on, and we're going to just try and keep a nice P&L. I'm still playing this thing pretty low risk. I've been starting very small positions, adding a little bit as we go. I'm keeping stops super tight, like $20, $30 stop losses, things like that. Just trying to build something out of these, and so far, it seems to be ticking along relatively nicely. Okay, and then taking a look at altcoins, we touched on this yesterday. Bullish retest, looking good on the weekly. Nice little pump, nice little move onto support. And now, look, 200-day moving average coming into play. We've just broken the 200-day on BTC. I'd like to see a now big push here on these altcoins, blow through this 200-day MA. That's going to be support for us. And same old story. We're going to look for that retest onto the 200-day MA, and then we're going to keep grinding. Now, who is calling 46K here in the chat? So I see there's a little argument going on in the chat here, right?
I did a poll. I did a post. 46 first.
40 what? Say that again.
46 or 69 first. Last week,
I think
people were
69.
saying 46 is coming. Now they're saying 69.
I think 69, and I've got a lot of guys calling for the bullhorn again. Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go.
Thoroughly deserved and very important.
Treat the like button like Michael Jackson. Just beat it.
You know what to do. You know what to do with that like button. Just be like Michael Jackson. Just beat it. Okay, let's talk dominance. So this is our great altcoin queue, and you can see this is dominance on the 12-hour. We've had a strong pump. This was now tied in with a nice Bitcoin push. Now dominance falling over for us. And remember, dominance falling over with a bullish Bitcoin is actually pretty hot for some of these altcoins. So as long as dominance keeps pushing lower, then we are good. So we got our original bounce off the 57.6 zone. And I expect if we do push back into that region, I'm expecting a bounce again on that type of zone, or at least a reaction there. And that is so all is well. As long as dominance is falling over, these altcoins should be okay, and they should be cooking. Now, let's talk about the bronus, okay? This ETH, guys, come on. And this thing has popped. Okay, so this is what I was saying last week. ETH was looking bearish. Why? It was under the 50-day MA. It had lost the trend. I said, how do we invalidate this? We've got to blow through that right shoulder of the possible head and shoulders. We've got to blow through the 50-day MA. Now, this morning, we started breaking that 50-day MA. That is why I went long on ETH. And we are looking for a couple of big targets. But right now, target number one is actually about to hit here for ETH. So we're looking at 2,600 to 2,700. That is target number one. You can see we've got a simple little trend here, and we don't need to play many games above that region. So I'm watching that super closely. Anywhere at this trend is a potential rejection zone. Then major support now for us, 2,460 for me. On ETH is our new big zone that we're going to watch. It's the 50-day MA. Now, as we go through some of these charts, I'm going to show you some of these other altcoins today. As we start going through these charts, we're going to start raising our fibs. We're going to start tracking these things higher and start identifying pullback regions so that we can react when we get to them. Right now, you can see ETH. We've got some big levels here at the moment that we can play with. Number one, 2.5. Number two, 2,440. Both of those are big zones now. Any nice pullbacks here on ETH? For me, you can look for buys. We're looking for buys in those zones somewhere in that area for me on ETH. If you're looking for some more, that is what you want. And what was that question on CAS there, Ray? I saw a little comment coming through. What is your honest opinion on CAS? Well, guys, this is your lucky day. What's your honest opinion on CAS? CAS bag holder.
Moon.
There you go.
Moon.
There you go. There's your honest opinion. Moon. Okay, so we are in a CAS position in Sniper Club. I didn't have CAS today. I don't have it today. We'll talk about CAS tomorrow, but Sniper Club guys, they are in a CAS long at the moment with me. I just want to give you one ETH play. Okay, I'm not going to harp on about ETH plays, but if ETH turns super bullish, like it looks like it is, broken the 50-day MA, what can you trade with it? Lots of things. Optimism, Arbitrum, even that shitcoin Matic. Stuff like that. One I like, ENS, nice one. Lido, nice one. I just wanted to show you ENS and just point it out. So I don't have degen analysis for you guys on ENS today, but what I want to show you, we've broken the 50-day MA, we've broken the daily horizontals. If you want an ETH play, your key support on ENS, 17.5. Watch that region over there. That's going to be bullish support for you. Let's see if we do get that little dip. We want to see ENS start grinding higher, eventually get to that 200-day MA. But I can tell you now, bullish ETH, bullish ENS, they will run together. They should run together. And, obviously Pepe is going to do well as well. So ENS, if you want an ETH play, big support, 17.5. You close under there, then a little bit bearish, but I would say the market is bearish then as a whole. Now, you guys have seen me talk about Sol versus ETH many times. I didn't draw up the chart today. I just borrowed 𝗙𝗬𝗟𝗡𝗪's one, and he said, you can't look at the Sol ETH chart with a straight face and try to tell me that I should be more bullish on ETH than Sol. Okay, so he's just reminding everybody, Sol versus ETH, looking like a cup and handle, looking like it wants to pop. And that is why I've been holding on my Sol position for so long. Okay, it's actually been unhealthy the way I've been holding on to that Sol position. And finally, it looks like it's going to start paying off for us. So just to cover a couple of things here, and I think Chaos has got a few comments on Sol as well. So we're going to bring him in a second. But Sol on the daily, just to cover where we are. So you can see we've now blown through a nice downtrend. Okay, so that's a great start for us. Downtrend on Sol, we've popped through that. But what is the most important for me? The 200-day moving average. We now cracked this little guy, the 200-day MA, and suddenly, as long as we're getting a close above that 200-day MA, things are starting to look a little bit more bullish on Solana for me. So danger zones that I want to just point out to you guys here, if you're trying to FOMO into Sol, 162. Big danger zone ahead. You can see this is the range highs. This has come into play multiple times. I mean, we were there in August. Where were we? We were there in July. We were on support here in June. So we know this is a massive zone for us. So what does that tell me? It tells me if things turn a little bit more bullish today, we may get a rejection in that area. That could be the region where we start looking for our new buys and a new potential Sol trade. And the beauty of a big level like this is if for whatever reason, the market turns super bullish and we start blowing through the zone today, for example, let's say we pop that area. Just remember, you don't need a FOMO. We're most likely going to get some kind of bullish retest on that region at some point, and that's going to be our ticket for Sol to go to 190. Okay, so if you're feeling like you're twiddling your thumbs here, you're not sure what to do, Sol is pushing up, it's in a danger zone. Chaos actually just told me his indicator printed like a TP3 or something, and he's actually closed his long. Okay, so maybe a few cents too early here, but you can get the picture here. So your best buy for me, let Sol turn more aggressive. Then we're going to get a nice support buy at 160, 161, somewhere around there. Or alternatively, let it fall over here if it does want to turn over. And then by tomorrow, we'll be assessing where we can get strong entries. But I suspect it's going to be 150, somewhere down to about 145, somewhere in that zone. So we'll check it out. If we do get our rejection, we can play with that one tomorrow. Now, Chaos, talk to me about MDX Algo. What is it telling you?
Hello. Are we talking about Sol? Hello. Feeling very green today. It's lovely, isn't it?
Bullish.
Yeah. What would you like to know? We can talk about Solana, or
why did you exit Sol?
I can show you why, actually. I can show you why. Yeah, sure. So I've just got like a little bit of a demo Sniper Club account here that I set up. We actually have been trading via MDX Algo for the last couple of weeks using their automation and bots. We've had 2 previous trades which have already hit TP3, but what I'm most proud about is this one. We had a buy entry signal 12th of October at midday or 12:30. We've had 4 TPs and we're out. So this is one of the new things we've got in club. We've got automation, we've got bots. Like I said, it's only a small account. I've only got $200 in there, but in a few days, 2 days, it's now 250. Yeah.
Okay, so it's telling you a story. It's helping you grow. It's maybe it's not as exciting as 50x leverage, but fuck me, it looks like it does its job. Okay, so you got your TP signal on Sol, and okay, that is why you guys are out. So we're going to talk about. Do you have any MDX Algo stuff there that showed that this was a TP for you guys on Sol?
I do. Hold on 1 second. Let me just bring that up for you.
Of course you got Cass up. Of course you've got Cass.
Well, it's only because you were talking about it, man. I didn't want to not come prepared. Let me just see if I've got the right one. Hold on. Okay, so I appreciate that this looks like a bit of a spider's nest with all these lines. I haven't come prepared today. Hold on a sec. This was on the 4-hour charts. Give it a second to load, guys. So what we had is, look, basically on this chart, it doesn't look quite so grand. The buy signal fired there. We set the alerts, TPs 1 through 4. on the exchange based on what this bot told us. And whilst you can't see them here, this is why I've actually brought up this demo ByBit account for you guys today. You can actually physically see them. So nothing much to show you there, but I've got another one. I've got more to show you.
We know he's got a banger. Okay, we know the man's got a banger, but this Rainbow Ray, when he's happy with the likeage, it's a long setup. We've also got a short setup. So let AI Ray be happy there, and then we will proceed. Okay, let's go. So Sol, you get what Chaos is telling you now. Sol, on the degen time frame. Now this is, well, it's not quite degen, it's 4 hours. So this is what I'm looking at the moment. So I just wanted to give you guys a big picture on Sol. So we zoom out, we always look back, we say, where are we in the bigger scheme of things? Let's get a context as to where we are currently on Sol. Then we can zoom in a little bit and see what is going on. So if you are looking for longs on Sol right now, just from regular TA, you can see this is a danger zone. We've got 2 wicks up here, and we might get one final push into the zone, but maybe take out these wicks. But if we do, I'm expecting some kind of rejection there. Then I'm expecting some kind of healthy retest, and then the next trade. So that is, from a TA perspective, unless you're an absolute savage, okay, just play it a little bit safe. Yeah, you can see what's going on. This thing's running pretty hot at the moment, and yes, it could go a little bit more. But for me, from my perspective, we'd be a little bit cautious here. We either need some kind of pullback or one more push and rejection into that type of zone. So interim support, if you are sitting in something right now, you can play with about 154 you can use currently for Solana. But if we do pump a little bit higher, we're going to have to start adjusting a couple of things. But right now, for me, you can see 149 is a zone of interest as well if we get some kind of pullback. So just be a little bit safe there. And Matthew is asking for Chainlink. Guys, remember, after the show, if you drop your comments of the tokens you want after the show, Ray looks at it for me, sends it to me, and then I try and incorporate them in my show the next day for you. So if you want some link, just drop it in after the show there, and AI Ray or Rainbow Ray will take care of that for you, and then we can maybe get link on tomorrow to take a look. Now, before we bring some chaos, more chaos, I just wanted to update you guys on Brett. So this was a setup that we looked at yesterday on the show, and this thing started ripping. Okay, nice little banger. We also gave the setup on the Sniper Club Zoom yesterday. We took that Brett position live on Sniper Club on our Zoom session that we had after the show, and that thing now has started cooking. So I closed my Brett after that pumpage. When I woke up this morning, we had a nice push into our little resistance band, and I suspect there is going to be a new entry brewing on Brett. Okay, so what I've done is I've plotted a degen setup for you guys as well. So I just wanted to give you bigger picture context as to what is going on. Brett has broken through big horizontals. Okay, this is a huge zone for us, massive area. Now we've broken through. So the safest play on the bigger picture is to say, okay, any bullish retest here, we're looking at about 0.1, that type of thing for the big move higher. Now there's a lot left in the tank for Brett. Okay, there's another, it's 39% there, but let's just confirm how much is left from this perspective. Another 25% left, give or take, on Brett from where we are right now. But now, how do we get there? That is the question we always ask. And Bird in the Bush, well, you might get another one. And I see DJ David says, Sniper Club eating sushi. Fuck me, DJ David's coming 6th in the ByBit competition. I think he's eating lobster at the moment. And okay, so Brett, degens. Okay, this is like absolute degen shit that I'm giving you. So I've zoomed into Brett here on the 1 hour with the context of, do we get a trade from Brett to blow into the next zone? How do we get into the next zone when the market is super bullish? The only way you can really do that is trade breakouts. You can trade horizontal breakouts. You can trade trend breakouts. But remember, if you're DJing and you're trading breakouts, these things start getting a little bit risky when the market gets hot. So just understand what game you're playing at the moment with a super hot BTC. But there is a potential 24% move still to go on Brett. And how do you get there? Well, it's as simple as this. So what I've done is I've plotted on the 1 hour for you guys. I've pulled my fibs from the lows on the 10th of October to the highs. And we start looking for some bullish pullback areas. And the first decent one that I can give you guys, now this is a little dip zone that I can give you, is 1.08. Okay, this is now the 236 fib. It's the most savage, degenerate fib that you get when things are super bullish. And quite often you can get a reaction of that. Alternatively, okay, if there is going to be another move here on Brett, you can zone into the 15 minutes and you can start being an absolute degen. Okay, you can be like those psychos that are beating me on that ByBit competition. And I mean, I've got 300%. These guys are killing me. Okay, so current plan here on Brett, what you can do, option 2, is you can trade this high risk breakout play. And your safest bid or your safest bet here is to start using your lows as support. Now, remember, 15-minute degen plays are high risk plays, okay? But they can sometimes give you access into another zone. So you always got to manage your risk accordingly. But what you can see here, Brett is potentially breaking a trend here. So support number 1 that you can use, 0.111. Watch that zone, 0.111. If we start falling over here, we lose that level, we most likely come down to test 0.108. So that would be another bounce area for me, 0.108. Then if we go back to the 1 hour, we can look a little bit lower. Then we can say, okay, if Bitcoin rejects now, where could Brett go for a nice bullish retest for me? And this hot zone over here. So got a couple of areas here for you guys that you need to set your alarms on if you want, you want to be pinged if the market does fall over. So first zone, 0.1086. Next zone, 0.103. Now, these are the more civilized areas. These are the zones where if we dip, then we get some kind of reaction, we get some kind of bounce in those areas. If the market starts ripping without you, then you are stuck playing breakouts, okay? So if we do get a breakout now on this 15 minutes, and you ideally want to see a stronger breakout than that. This is quite a weak breakout candle, so play it safe. Wait for this thing to really pop. You really want to see a big push. When you get that big push, then you can either bang your stop under that breakout candle, or you can bang your stop under the lows, just like that. Okay, so look for a nice hard green candle first, then you can start looking at some risk underneath these types of zones. So you really want to just find some solid candles that you can exit under in case this thing goes wrong. Remember, if you're taking a trade, the most important thing you need to do is not focus on how much profit you're going to make. It's focus on how much you're going to lose if you are wrong. Okay, if you focus on that and you're managing your risk, then you can be in control of the situation. If you're aping in and he concurs.
Manage the bank, manage the profits.
Manage the bank, manage the profits. There you go. Okay, so that's for the absolute degens. Okay, so you can see bigger picture, there's potentially a 25% move coming on Brett. How do you get there? My preferred route, 108, 103. That's my preferred look for me. And I see Nat says Popcat is cooking. And yeah, that thing is absolutely flying. Okay, so Brett, you're taken care of. You know how to trade that breakout. Ideally, you want that little dip pullback. And remember, we've got our rising trend. So as always, we've got a rising trend in play. If we start losing and closing under the rising trend, things could potentially start turning a little bit bearish. So just couple of things to look out for. And then this is me on the ByBit comp. So I'm fully out of Myro now. I've exited that. That was a big banger for me, and that really got me fired up. And right now you can see I'm in a whiff position, I'm in a rune position, and I'm in a stacks position. Now that is a little bit interesting, and I thought stacks could be a play based on Bitcoin turning super bullish. We have seen stacks in the past do a couple of things, but this is a super low risk stacks position. You can see I'm rather lots of concurrence today, right? And you can see we're in a super tight stacks position here. I'm not taking big risks at all at the moment. My strategy has been from the beginning of this little competition is small position. When it starts running, adding to that position. So start off really small, tight stops, watch it, manage that trade. I mean, Rune took me all day basically to get going, okay? And started with about a $1,500 position. It's now $5,000, and now it's starting to get a little bit of traction. So sometimes you got to manage these things all day. Sometimes you got to take one or two stops along the way before you get that. Marwin's trading his wife on 5x leverage. What's going on here, bro? What's going on here? Okay, so let's take a look at, I'm going to talk you through some of these positions, and I need Chaos as well, because Chaos has got some info on whiff for me as Armand. Why are you giving me the dick, bro? What's going on here? Why is he giving me that? What's he doing here? Okay. Here's the situation. Okay, so I must confess, okay, I've started a whiff short in a separate trading account, okay? And the reason being is this was a whiff short zone that I've highlighted for the last 2 weeks. We've been talking about this zone. We know we had a bearish order block in this region as well. We know this was a major resistance band, and we know we had our 618 fib in the way. Okay, so there were multiple levels of confluence telling us that this is, a rejection zone for whiff. So I've been talking about that for 2 weeks. So I've started building my whiff short, and I can tell you right now, it's underwater. Okay, but we're going to carry on and we're going to play that game. So anything up to just above 3 for me on WIF looks like a reaction zone there. Looks like a shorty type zone. Okay, it looks like we're going to get something along those lines potentially. Now, okay, what else can we do? You can see I'm in a scalp WIF long in the ByBit competition. And just to show you what's happening here, my stop is now sitting at entry on this WIF position. Let's just take a look where it is. Okay, there it is. My stop is just above entry. I want to show you guys why I traded that and how I traded that. So you always go bigger picture context. You look at this thing and you say, okay, where can we go in the bigger picture? If the market remains bullish, where can they take me? And this is very enticing. If you can get a low risk entry in something like this, you can see the type of upside that you can get out of these type of areas if you do pop through the next zone. So I've highlighted those type of regions there for you guys. And you can see if there is a little bit of momentum here and WIF does push higher, then you're looking at this type of region, the 2.9, the 3 region, that is suddenly becoming your support band that you are going to be playing with. And you're going to be looking at moves higher up. So there was a potential scalp on Sniper Club that I gave earlier today. And it was as simple as this. I broke it down into the 1 hour. And basically what you want to do is when you're trading these levels, when you're looking at this blowout into the next weekly range and things like that, your safest way to do it is a breakout of our trend or a breakout of a horizontal. And we could see what happened here with WIF on the 1 hour. And this thing started, it pushed up, obviously, from its lows here. It was a little 382 at the time or whatever it was. And anchored VWAP came into play. Then we pushed through some horizontals. Okay, so we had a nice little rejection there, started drifting higher. What did we do? We broke the horizontals. We retested as support. Okay, that gives you your buy. That gives you your risky buy for a move higher. The stop at the time was 2.75. And then you start looking for that bigger push up and you start looking for that grind up. But when you get these breakouts and things like that, the quickest thing you need to do is just de-risk as quickly as possible. So you can see I started that WIF position pretty small. And then as it started moving up, just added a little bit to it. And then the minute I had a nice pump, I've just lifted my stop above entry. Okay, the last thing you want to do now is get absolutely wrecked on a breakout play. So things are looking okay for Brett on the lower time frame on the 1 hour. I mean, not Brett, WIF on the 1 hour. But what you can see here is if we start losing 2.8, if we start drifting back into this type of region, then I would say the short is on for WIF. And we start coming down to 2.5. We're coming down to 2.3. Okay, so very simple game plan here. Remember, if you're trying to catch the breakout into the next range, it's tricky. Okay, you can get stopped once or twice and it could reverse on you because it typically is major resistance. But the rewards are great when there is a nice little squeeze and you get a big move out of these things. So just understand when you're managing your positions and your leverage, just understand exactly what type of games you're playing. Now, Sniper Club members got a full breakdown of this in our World Series of Trading channel that we've opened on Sniper Club. And I dropped the context of the chart into Sniper Club, gave them a little rundown. So if you guys want some of the action, if you want some help in this competition, we've got a whole lot of traders dropping ideas in our separate channel on ByBit, the World Series of Trading, World Series Trading competition in the Sniper Club. Okay, and there's tons of information there. And Sheldon's also running his 10x challenge, and everybody is pumped in that community at the moment. So come and hang out with us in Sniper Club. Remember, as always, all the information you need is under the show description. So just jump in there. You can even see my Twitter handles there at the top and everything. Sniper Club is there. Sniper School is there. If you want to learn how to trade, it's there as well. There's the ByBit trading competition, Prime XBT, ZoomX, MDX Algo that you see Chaos talking about today and all those bots and things. That is there for you guys as well. So there's tons happening. And Chaos, can you talk to me about some whiffage? Am I long or am I short?
You're brave. That's what you are. If you've gone short, you're a brave man. I don't know if you want to bring the screen up.
I rinse on that Stewie short. I wonder if Whiff is going to rinse me again.
I know, man. I know. Do you want to? Here, let me bring my screen up. Where is it?
Let's see your screen.
Got it. Okay. So obviously I've got the same zone marked out that you've got, right? The obvious resistance area. I've just put it in as yellow for caution. The thing is, we have obviously had a lovely buy. Of course, this buy signal has given us already a 75% move, which is an astonishing move. We've had a TP from the long. Obviously, we sort of came back down. We've pushed up again to make a new high. What I'm seeing is this kind of cash flow, the wave, you know, the money flows in, money flows out. It has got to a point where it's peaked and it's starting to come down. So if your stop is somewhere just above $3, It's close, and the wick came close, but there is the potential at this point that we might get TP2 here, and then one of these. So I'm not sure I would short a bullish market, but certainly if you're in this thing, your TP2 probably will appear somewhere in here. And then if you're, I mean, if you're in the short, you're in the short, right? But it's potential that we can come down here, that this cash flow can come down, money can start flowing out again. And we'll see what happens. Yeah, but you're a brave guy, man.
Look, I got owned on that 𝗬𝗎 short. I got absolutely rinsed there in the end. Let's see. Maybe we get right on whiff. Look, it makes sense on the chart. You can see the indicator's getting tired. But look, you don't want to really mess with a bullish Bitcoin market, do you? But yeah, I mean, let's see how that goes. So I've got it running. It's in the same account as that massive Sol long that I've now got. So yeah, I mean, look, it should be okay. We'll see.
Hedge mode.
Okay, so you guys, yeah, I mean, it's typically, we're typically hedge moding here. So you guys get the picture. Okay, so short-term potential scalp on the lower time frames. Yes, that thing could be on for us. Bigger picture, you can see upside resistance zone 3.58. 4 big zones for us, big resistance bands. If we do get a short-term dip, I think it gets bought up pretty quickly. 2.54, somewhere in that region. I reckon they come and grab this pretty quickly. Okay, chaos. Okay, Ray, how's the likage there? Because I mean, the chaos has got a long setup, and I think it's worth. Is he happy? Okay, guys, don't forget to subscribe as well, okay? Because like Sundays, I do a different time. You want to make sure you get notified when I am jumping on there for you guys. Okay, so we're going to bring Chaos on just now. Just hang in there. He's got some juice for us. And we got 2 short setups as well that we planning at the moment. So, okay. Let's talk stacks. So look, it's been quite a shitty token, to be fair. The last 6 months, it hasn't been a great trade. And for me, what was interesting is bullish BTC. And if the market starts flipping to BTC again, I think maybe stacks is going to get a little bit of a run. So you can see I had a little dip at it on that ByBit competition. And just to give you the bigger picture context here on the daily, you can see this thing is trying to break through a little bit of horizontal here for us. So it's definitely got my attention. Okay, we've got the 200-day MA, quite a bit further up, 1.95. That's an interesting zone. You can see we've got a bit of a trend going on there. So I'm looking for a little move on stacks somewhere into that region. But most importantly, I want to see it hold this 1.8 zone. Okay, then I want to see stacks start climbing. Now, we have seen in the past, if we look at the history on stacks, let's not forget, okay, what stacks can do for you. Okay, stacks can do things. Okay, when there's a bullish Bitcoin. I mean, look at this last move that we had. This was in January. Okay, January to when was that? January to March. April. They did 195% on stacks. Now, if you look at it now from this perspective on the daily, you can see it's currently building into those type of squeezy little setups that I like on these altcoins. So, I'd love to see just something like this on stacks, and then a big push there for us to send it a little bit higher. So stacks, watching it closely, want to see 1.8 hold as a nice support band. Let's see if we can get some support there. Then we can start aping. We can start pressing the size on that position if there is a little bit of momentum. But again, not taking major risks here, letting this thing play out. If they want to take a small stop, they take a small stop. We reassess. And, we don't want to be FOMOing here and over trading. Now, here is stacks on the 1 hour here for you guys, and I've got the absolute degen levels in play right now. So you can see our 236, that's our bounce zone. That's pretty much where my entry is right now on that stacks position, and that is that 236 zone. So if you want to join the trade exactly with me, it's right now. It's 1.8 on the 236. Your danger is that it drips lower, 1.78. You can see here we've got a hot zone 1.78. That is the 382. I've got 2 anchored VWAPs in play, and I've got big horizontals. So if you want a higher conviction zone for me, 1.78 on stacks looks pretty decent there. So typically maybe we just see something like that, a little push higher, then that little dip, and maybe we get that bounce there on stacks. So very interested in stacks. Going to try and catch it. If I lose that 236, I'm going to look for a little buy at this 1.78 and play around with that area. I think we've got enough confluence in that zone. So maybe just set your alarms in that region. And I'm just going to set mine here too quickly. Let's just bang that in there. Okay, so 1.78. That's our next reaction zone on stacks. Looking for something there, looking for some kind of consolidation in that area, and then maybe a little pop from that thing. Okay. I've got so much content here for you guys. Jeez. Okay, what do you have? What do you have left here for us?
Would you like a long or a short?
Guys, do you want a long or a short? Let us know quickly in the chat. Okay, do you want a long or a short?
Let's
quickly,
go.
we're waiting. Longs or shorts?
I see Bruce is here. Bruce, what do you want? Long or short?
I see
There you go.
Alejandro likes stacks as well. Okay, Lars wants some long. Everyone wants some long. Okay.
There's one bear. There's two bears. The rest of them are.
Star says, "Who wants shorts now? Come on, guys."
Cover them.
Who wants? Who said who wants a very long? Somebody wants a very long. Yeah, I missed it. Oh, Paul wants a very long. Okay,
Schlong.
give us your long. Give us your full maxed out MDX algo long. Let's go.
Okay, screen up 1 second. There you go. All right, cool. Excuse all the yellow boxes, guys. This morning in Sniper Club, the guys all got a good look at this chart. We entered at the bottom of this candle.
What
the things on.
this?
Sorry, this is 𝗬𝗢𝗟𝗏. I should start with 𝗬𝗢𝗏 on the 12-hour.
Okay.
I do
Absolute
appreciate.
point over the last 6
I
months.
appreciate everybody has been smacked sideways on this thing. Yeah, big time. What we've identified though is we obviously have identified the key zones where this token operates. We've obviously marked them out, the ranges. Now, recently we've gone from there to there to there to there. So this box here and this box here have been heavily respected since August. Okay, so what we're looking for is we've got a 26% move back into that box. And if we make it to the next zone, it's a 71% move, depending on a 10x. That's an enormous trade. So what we were immediately looking at this morning was we bounced off the line. I put the guys in on a spot trade this morning in Sniper Club. Since then, we've obviously made it's not much of a move, but, you know, on a 5x to 5, it's a 10% move. So it's not to be sneezed at. What I'm ideally looking at, if I now put this on, the reason that we started this today is this lovely buy signal that's just popped up. Okay, so just to give you guys a quick look at how this token operates, you get a buy, you get a nice move, you get a sell, you get a nice move. So what we're essentially hoping for is with this RSI pushing up, along with the cash flow, which is again is this wave behind, okay, we're essentially looking for the next leg, which should be hopefully in line with the rest of the bull market we've got going on, which will equate to a big push up with money flowing in. And what we want to see is we want to see it push through this zone. And ideally, we want to make it up to this zone for a 26% move. What I will say to you guys is the guys in Sniper Club all got this with very minimal risk this morning. It was like 1%. What you're actually getting now is if you just jump into this thing now and the thing comes back down here, it's more like a 2.5 to 3% move. Obviously on a 5x, that's 10% of your account, guys. So just be a little bit careful. Potentially expect to pull back to the trend line. Obviously, this trend line is drawn from the wick on the 10th of October at 1 p.m. It's touched here. I'm expecting a touch here. If you guys come down to the 4-hour, it makes just a little bit more sense, the trend line. And yeah, so what we're essentially doing is we're looking to touch the trend line and bounce up to this zone. So
okay,
hopefully a 26% move.
Okay, so now for the degens out there, because we know, okay, they're not going to all trade this thing spot. Give us stop loss points and give us TP zones, please, too.
Okay, so assuming
pay attention.
Yes, assuming we pull back, and I'll leave it on the 12-hour, but it makes more sense on the 1 or 4-hour, guys. If assuming it pulls back to this trend line and you enter somewhere in this region, say there, your stop loss, which is there's two options. You can either go below 18.45, and that's a 3% stop. All right, that should be okay. This to me, unless you're on spot, is a no dice situation. So I would personally look for somewhere below, where are we? Sorry. 18.45, roughly. All right. So that's
okay.
If you, yeah. And then TP wise, let's just turn off the indicator. Give you guys another look. Hold on. So you've got this point of control, which runs right the way through the middle of these two zones. Okay. The first TP that you would love to see it poke into this zone, just like all of these wicks, right, is at 21 spot 40. Okay, roughly. Just shy of this zone to maybe give you, a chance to take profit before everybody else. And then obviously if you do make it up to the top, we're talking somewhere in the region of 24, 28. But that's a big move, guys. So just keep an eye on it. Watch this thing every day. And if you come to Sniper Club, you'll get daily updates on this. We'll trade it together. You can see what I'm doing. And you can see what, Bruce and Dave are in the chat. Dylan, you can see what we're all doing.
So right. Chaos is our indicator man. He loves these things. He loves playing these games. And he does these beautiful spot trades. Just like, the slow burners, these things. But they play out very well. And very good hit rate with those things. Now, I've got something, okay? 𝗙𝗢𝗟𝗓. Okay, this is called bonk. For those of you who remember this thing, they put on a cell phone. They put on the cell phone ages ago, and there was a lot of hype around bonk. And, we now have PopCat. We now have Whiff. A lot of the attention's been taken away from bonk. It's almost like, it feels like a bit of a doge now at the moment. But I was taking a look at bonk today. I was trying to identify a couple of memes that haven't just run just yet. Okay, now we know the market's been popping off. Things are looking good. And the first thing I noticed here on bonk for you guys, this is bonk on the daily. What I wanted to show you is that we have resistance here at the 200-day MA. So we are at a danger zone. Okay, but what does this mean for us if we do start popping through this region eventually? What does this tell me? It tells me that we got a couple of big targets here that could come into place. I just want to highlight this for you guys quickly. First zone is 14%. The next one that I like is about a 44% here on bonk, okay? And Martin says, your levels are the best in the business. Martin, thanks, bro. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay, so bonk looks like we got good upside. How do we get there, though? We are at a danger zone at the moment. If this thing turns bullish, I am looking for a bigger move on bonk. So what I've done here is zoomed into smaller time frames for the absolute degens over here to try and grab you or try and snag you a couple of hot zones. So I've identified two big zones here for you guys where I think we can get a reaction now on bonk. Okay, so the first area of interest you're looking at, and why do I like this one? It's a 382 pool. I've got an anchored VWAP as well. And I've got these horizontals. So area number one, you can see here's our 200-day MA in the way. Area number one, I'm looking for some kind of reaction in that zone. Okay, something around the 0.022 region, reaction zone there for me on bonk. Then a little bit lower, if we get a nice little sweat out here on BTC, but a civilized one, nothing too dangerous. Then I've got a hot zone here, 0.0216 is your next one that you are looking at. So both of these could give you that ticket to that move higher on bonk. So when you zoom out, you say, where am I in my bigger picture? Cool. Now I can zoom in and say, how do I get there? If the market stays bullish, where do I get my entry? Where do I snipe my entry? And for me, at the moment, these look like the hot zones that you need to pay attention to. So you can see we've got a nice little trend as well. So for me, 0.0215 or 0.022, both look like great areas that could trigger something here for bonk. And really simple invalidation. If we start losing that trend, that tells us that things are getting tired again, and we start falling over, then we turn a little bit bearish again. Okay, but we deal with that when we get there. Right now, the bulls, these are the two hot zones that you are watching here for your potential bounces. Look for this pullback here. Look for those reactions. And again, you don't need to ape your full bag. You can start building a position, and you can do what I've been doing in this comp. You build a tiny little position, and then as you get momentum, you can just start growing it a little bit. You can build up that leverage as well and start firing things up. So bonk could be a banger here for you guys. Remember, always look at the bigger picture. We got work to do on bonk, but if this thing does turn bullish, you can see these candles. We do get some big moves. Let's see if that gives us something. Now, another one that I've got for you guys is, well, it's the same one. It's an update on Ondo. You can see I'm running Ondo here on WeX at the moment. So no real changes to that trade. The position is now $14,000. And this thing is grinding out pretty nicely here on WeX for me. So those of you that did take this trade with me, we are at TP1 now. So this is a potential rejection zone. This is typically where you can get your reversal. Okay, remember when we get to TP1, that's often a short zone for guys, often an area where we can consolidate or get some kind of bullish pullback. So anyone trading Ondo, this is now your first TP zone. At the very least, you want to be raising your stop to entry or raising your stop to a risk-free region in case things start falling over. Now let's just zoom in. If you are a fan of Ondo, how do you get a position now that this thing is run? Now remember, market is hot. Okay, so typically you don't really want to be buying the top of these pumps. You ideally want to be buying pullbacks into nice solid zones or potentially bullish pullback areas. And the simplest game that I can give you guys here on Ondo for pullback zones, mark these on your charts, 0.72. That's hot zone number one. So if we get a little push down here, you can see I've got horizontals tied in with anchored VWAPs here as well, and that 382. So I'm looking for a reaction in that zone for me on Ondo. If we do get a deeper bleed out, 0.70. So both of these are bullish zones. Now, if the market's going to turn super bearish, well, then all bets are off for the bulls, and the bulls get rinsed again, and we go straight to hells. But if it's going to stay bullish, these are the zones you are typically going to be looking to start building a couple of positions. Now, remember, if you're using super high leverage, you mainly want to trade zone by zone. So this can give you about a 1% stop potentially each one. Alternatively, you can say, My bias is bullish now, and I'm looking to buy any dip that they give us on Ondo, and then you can start building a position where you can add a little bit on this region 7.2, then you can add a little bit on that region 7.0, and then it's only invalidated if we start closing under that trend. Okay, then you can get rinsed. But if you want to buy on both zones, your risk, if you start buying on the first zone down to the last zone, is about 3%. So if you get your average entry sort of in the middle of that type of region, your risk is going to be about 1.5%, give or take. And if the market remains bullish, it most probably bounces off that trend and then starts sending higher. If it goes bearish, well, you get rinsed, and then you take your medicine for trading leverage. It's very simple. Do you concur?
Completely.
Okay, so that is Ondo. So all is well so far. So far, so good. We are on track. You can see big upside target here for us still coming, and we just need the market to play ball. Now, Chaos, give us a short, please, sir.
Okay, I was gonna just comment on your bonk. I've got
Okay,
one
comment on my
word for you.
bonk.
Okay, I've got one word for you. Can you bring my screen up real quick?
Okay.
We have got this zone that we've respected for the absolute longest time, guys. Okay, all the way back. So check this out. One very simple word why you should go long. And there it is. How early? How early is that? And look at these runs that it goes on. Okay. Look at these runs. Obviously, you might get an invalidation run. That remains to see what the market does. But you have just picked the absolute start of a move. So much so, the RSI, which was falling, has just reversed and it's now facing up. This is the absolute beginning point of a move. You know, it will never give you a signal that's one candle. There's always plenty of candles for it to play out. If you get a move like this, it's a huge move, man.
Okay.
50%.
Cool. So you guys, look, you guys get the picture. You can see what I'm trying to tell you. Okay. Your safest play, wait for the bullish zones, start building a small position. You can see the upside is pretty big here on bonk if it gets moving, and then easy invalidation. You've got the charts. You can see where we can exit if it is going to happen. So let's just confirm again there. You get the plan. Now remember, anyone who's a member of Sniper Club is going to get these charts immediately into the Sniper Club after the show. AI or Rainbow Ray is going to drop them there for you guys. It's going to have all the lines on, all the squiggles. So make sure you watch the show for context so you understand what exactly we are talking about there. But if you are in Sniper Club, you can find those charts directly after the show. Okay, Chaos, give me something shorty.
I've got it. Baby Doge.
Ooh.
Okay, now this is on. Do you want to go first or shall I?
No, go. Send us to
Okay,
zero.
this is on every single time zone. I'll show you a few time zone. The buy played out beautifully. Cash flowed in beautifully. Cash is flowing out. We've hit TP1. Guys, you know what comes after a buy. TP1, TP2, and a big fat sell. And literally, like, you could go to any time frame here. Buy, TP1, TP2. It is screaming for a sell there, especially where we've had a reversal here. Guys, the cash flow's maxed out. It's going to come down. This, to me, I mean, I don't know what your levels are, Dylan. Perhaps you can bring up your fibs in a minute, but this is screaming short. Like, look at it. Screaming.
I hate saying it's screaming short because that's when I get run. But fuck, yeah. I mean, 𝗬𝗎 was screaming short, and they ended me. Let's see. Let's go. Is it 1,000 baby Doge or what is it?
It's a baby Doge, but it's also 1,000 baby Doge. You can literally just search baby Doge USDT.
Okay, I'm trying to find a chart with history. Okay, yes, I've got one. Oh, I've got one with tons of history. Wow. Okay. Right. Okay, let's plot this one. Okay, so Chaos says the indicator is getting tired. Time for some potential downside. Let's just take a look at some basic TA stuff. So the first thing I do, take my fibs from the highs to the lows. I want to try and find potential fib reaction areas. Now, the big ones that I like, 618, 786. Let's see, bang. There's a 786 in play. Okay, so that is zone of interest for me. Now, what is a little bit concerning is this wick here on the left-hand side. So I just want to highlight this guy. That's a zone. That's a liquidity zone there. And then we want to watch that area here. So for me, yes, okay, it's screaming sell. We know this indicator does take a while to start kicking in. Yeah, I like this zone, but I suspect we might have a situation just like 𝗬𝗎 at the moment where we need to time these reaction areas. So for me, if you're looking for a short here, and I mean, look, I've been talking about this with DJ and Dave as well. We actually are actively trying to hunt something on this thing. If you are looking for a short, this is your first zone. So it's 329. Okay, your next area, 36, and your next area 3.9. So these are pretty big moves to the upside. Okay, so your risk, if you're trying to build a short, your risk is pretty high. Okay, I think we understand this thing can come down, but your full risk here, probably a fake out as well there, is about 22% right now. Okay, so you need to play this one super cautiously, and you need to time these reaction zones. So for me, I love this 3.6 zone. If we get a push into that 3.6, that could trigger something there for me. And, you know, maybe then we start rolling over in that thing. You'll have some kind of trend as well. So if we break that trend, then you can start adding to that short. So hot short zones, 3.3 right here, 3.6, 3.9. Okay, it might take a few goes at this thing. I think we'll get it, though. I think we're going to get it. Okay, so that is that. Just remember, guys, super bullish. You can see this candle, and you won't be the first people trying to short something like this, so they can come for you. They can come and squeeze you out pretty quickly. At some point, the squeeze dies down, and then the real short is going to play out. So, yeah, just be patient. You might have a couple of goes on this one. Okay, well, we've actually run out of time now, and I wanted to give you guys so much more stuff. Okay, we're out of time, unfortunately, but fortunately for you guys, Chaos is in Sniper Club. You can get him whenever you want him. If you are in Sniper Club, you can just tag him. So thank you for your insights. Thank you for everything there.
Having me. Thank you.
And we'll bring him back again. I like him here on Mondays, talking indicator things as well. Thank you, sir. Thanks for hanging. Okay, guys. Run out of time, but fortunately for you, I'm back tomorrow. Fortunately for me, I'm back tomorrow because I love this shit. And you've got my ideas. You've got pullback zones. You've got target zones. You know what to do with BTC. Just don't FOMO. Okay, I gave you some nice messages at the beginning of the show. Take care. Don't FOMO. Let's not wreck ourselves. Let's not fuck this up. Market's looking bullish. Let's play it accordingly. Okay, we don't have to take ridiculous risks here. And, you know, in a bull market, we don't want to get rinsed in a bull market. Okay, guys, I'm out. See you tomorrow.
Can you believe I almost got liquidated during the show?
Did you get liquidated? Right.
Almost.